want your guys playing as much as possible going into finals. And let's see what happens in the second half. It's going to be really interesting to see how Riddle respond, whether they change their plans up a bit and try and take the game on a bit more, because Romsey have been fantastic in the first half.
Yes, we're coming to the commencement of the third quarter, and at the half-time break, Romsey 13 goals, 4 behinds, 82. Riddle 2 goals to 14, and let's all wait and see how Riddle respond to the situation they're in.
Yes.
EJ, thank you very much for that conversation.
No worries, Doug. We'll head back to the A-team.
We'll head back to the A-team, yes, all right, and we're the backup team.
Backup dancers.
Yes. Okay, you're with 100.7 Highlands FM and At The Ground 88.1 FM.
Thoroughly enjoyed listening to you guys have a chat, guys.
Thanks, Yendi.
Yeah, as we sort of expect, maybe Austin is injured. There's Shawnee Austin for Romsey. We'll check that out later on today. So we get ready to jet set into this one here, and Pat Carris pushes forward, therefore Riddle up towards centre half forward, but again, same old story. Romsey look to clear again. And the ball's headed out towards the outer side, towards Mitchell and North. On the outer side there, the Bombers kicking to the right of Vidal, and Redback still left. North here for the Bombers, inside the forward 50, looking for Ross. He's got to do it on his own. He recovers well. He snaps. What kick was that? Was it good enough for a goal? No, it's a rush behind.
Exactly right. What kick was that?
It was like an inside out, upside down kick.
Chris and Rixie, we just make a point about the under-18.5s. We're waiting on a report from the Rupertswood Club about Jordan Bailey, and if anything comes through to us, I've tried to make contact with the Ruperts Club to see if there's any report about his broken leg. It was a suspected broken leg.
Yeah, it didn't look good. He was in severe pain on that far side of the ground. It's a shame for such an exciting game, to sort of finish in that fashion, but hopefully he's doing really well. Thoughts with his parents as well.
We've got a ball up here at half forward, and obviously Benny Glasson going down as well there for the Bombers in the reserve. So we've seen a few big injuries today. As the ball comes out towards the commentary wing, and it's Ash McNaughton who has a bounce, shows some poise. There's Macca up towards Kakamota, push in the back, and umpire Dwayne Connell was right on it. And Dan Selberg is thinking, you've got to be kidding me, it's just one of those days. Devastating.
Yes, it does happen, and you've just got to have heads up frame, and be positive and be resilient. It's a test of character.
Kakamo pulls the trigger up towards the goal square, lob! Davidson, Kamo,
Did you notice how he rolled that down his body, turned around and kicked the goal?
Oh, that's just how he does it. He's a freak. And I mean that in the kindest way, but the goals that he kicks, that's why my nickname for him is Gassoo, because he just pulls it out of nowhere and just, I don't know, he's like David Copperfield, like the magician.
And that's his fourth goal for the day?
And they were all very, very similar, weren't they? Just magical little sort of trick goals, and that's just what he does best. As we said before, lining up, he could be 25 metres out from a set shot and you can hold your breath, but you put 15 players around him at one and you'd be backing him to get that ball and kick the goal.
Yes, it wasn't as though there weren't players around him.
Exactly right.
He was still able to achieve a goal.
Rucks go up again. Hill gathers here for the Bombers as Zane Williams, he offers to go to a teammate there. He decides to do it himself. He goes holding the ball, and free kick to Romsey. Looks like it's the first half. The second half has started exactly how the first half ended. As this is the story of the day there. Lee Irwin tried to kick it and ricocheted back to him, and a mark has been taken out by Dan Selberg. Defensive 35 up the corridor now, and Big Anthony Trigg haven't caught him much today, haven't needed to. Although the kick there from his Romsey teammate went straight back to Tim Hill. The Bombers, they are making a meal of it everywhere they can today. Romsey is just far superior in what we're seeing, and we're going to see a ball up to the right of centre. These two teams faced off in round 13, and Romsey won by 78 points. We are at the 3-minute mark here of this term. It's 73 points.
Yeah, it's absolute deer in the headlights stuff here at the moment. They've even come out sort of shell-shocked even more than what they sort of played in that first half at the moment. Romsey just come out, they've got their foot on the throat and they're not going to take it in the afternoon.
Bang! Zane Williams has been absolutely smacked, and he's okay, he will be okay. It wasn't as serious, but he's been awarded a free kick. And, a report. Now, that wasn't Wally Sard. Yep, big bustling Steve Burlack, the captain.
This is, we were having a bit of a chat in the break, and we're just saying that what Romsey would be sort of looking to get out of this match, sort of going forward. One would be 0 injuries, and 2 would be to have no player on report.
Well, Burlack, this game is assuming that the current tail of the tape goes in
at 3:42.
Yep, 3:42. Now, Romsey obviously wins today. They'll go to the grand final. There is going to be a lot of work done behind the scenes. If that report has any malice of even 1 week, the captain of your football club could very well miss the grand final.
Now, he doesn't look real healthy either. He's trying to jog off the ground. They need to grab him and just sort of walk him off nice and slow. He certainly is quite dazed with that hip and shoulder. He was fairly square with that. Didn't look like, certainly wasn't a high hit or anything like that, but it was certainly, it got him high with his shoulder.
Well, we'll be seeing his progress here because he's been the Bombers' best player by a long stretch.
A valuable footballer for a good pick-up by Riddle. A valuable footballer.
As that's through for a minor score there for the Bombers. They're 12-4, 16 to 14-4, 88. It is 72 points of margin. West doesn't look like he looks like he's going okay there. Rixie will take a stab. Free kick here to the Redbacks across half-back.
Cam Streeter.
He's had a sensational year. Finds Ryrule here for Romsey out towards Petroro. The game is sort of lost a little bit of its fizz after that miraculous second term where 7 goals to nothing, or 7 goals to nil. A free kick will go towards Kakamo again. And here on centre wing, Commentary side, it's 14-4, 88, 2-4, 16, 72 points the margin.
He seems to be really enjoying his football today too, Kakamo. He's certainly got a fair bit of it, but not a lot of pressure around him either at the moment either. So I think that's when he is at his absolute best.
And when you can step in with good players around you, it helps a lot. No doubt about that, Paul.
Ryan Marks, and he'll be counting his lucky stars that Way went down with the man flu overnight. As Lob drops a mark that he almost could have taken there, and a bit of pressure as Streeter pumps the ball forward. There's a little bit going on, and a free kicks against Cam Dawson.
There's a little bit of anger around at the moment. I think both sides need to watch it. We're in a final series, and it's the second semi-final.
Well, Romsey got a little bit more to lose here at the moment. With that type of attitude, they really got to grab the bit and just laugh it off.
It's not you go in hard for the ball, play within the rules of the footy. Don't lose it, fellas.
Ball up towards centre wing Commentary side. Nolan went up. Ryan takes the spoils there for Romsey. Rommel so it gets backed out to Raymond up towards Commentary wing, and Robertson marks. And Lob is having a friendly chat to the other Bomber faithful.
Not the way to go.
Now this big fly there from Nolan.
Focus on the footy, Phil.
And there we go. Well done, umpire Nick Luke. He's telling the boys on the Riddle coaching staff to settle down.
What's happened here?
That's a goal. That is Paddy Karras.
Thank you.
Well, Paddy Karras kicks a long way to goal here for the Bombers. And Rixie's hearing the conversation as Kakamo's getting involved in it as well. 8 minutes gone here in this term. The Bombers have finally kicked one through Paddy Karras. Well, Kakamo still having a friendly conversation. All a bit of a laugh, I'd imagine, Richie.
Yeah, Kakamo's got a big smile on his face, and he just keeps pointing to the opposite side of the ground. And what is over there, Yandy? Would that be the scoreboard?
That is the scoreboard that reads Romsey 14-4, 88 to Riddle 3-4, 22, 66 points the margin.
He has to say no more.
Yep, exactly. Well, there can be multiple ways this game could head. Could the Bombers try and get in the Redbacks' head and maybe encourage them to do something a little bit stupid that could land them on the report? We don't know. As Bruno is, I think he's no free kick given away there. Free kick to Crosby. Again, guys, the sting has just been zapped out of this game. Something chronic. The result's already in the bag. Unless the Bombers can pull off a miracle. Right foot kick inside the forward 50, and Tazari, he takes the mark, defensive 25, and In fact, must have been a free kick because it was player on advantage as the ball goes out towards Irwin on the outer side. Hits the deck. Bombers now. Can they get something? Can they get the next one? And maybe just bring a bit of a pulse into the game. Crosby, 45 metres out from goal. It'll bounce through and it's just touched. But if that had gone through, just maybe something that was there.
Yeah, like, forget about the result at the moment. What Riddle needs to do, they just need to have some little wins across the ground. You know, if they can win this quarter and then sort of build up into that final term, you know, and then they've got to start thinking about the week next week, and then hopefully sort of beating that side and having another crack at them.
Well, that's right. These are the things they've got to start thinking about now. But you never know. In a game of footy, they could kick 5 goals and bring the margin back to 5 or 6 goals.
For the moment, let's hope that they can play good contested football, Chris, and if they can do that and be contesting each ball, who knows what can happen. They've got to contest, they've got to be accountable, they've got to be courageous.
Well, we saw what happened there with Burlack getting yellow carded and reported. Those are the things that can happen, and we know that there might not have been too much in it at the time on Zane Williams, whereas other players have perhaps showed a little bit more aggression than Burlack, who plays the game as fairly as anyone in this competition.
In football, a lot of psychology, a lot of character and pride here, and Riddle have got to display that, and with their strategy out there on the football field.
Oh, lovely set of hair. Lovely little tap forward there by Nolan.
And that's a mark.
Well done. Good.
That's Ross tucked up there on the boundary line.
He's one of Riddle's best players today.
Yep, he and Zane Williams. And Ross, well, we've seen players kick goals from this angle before. We saw Ed Morrissey do it at the other end for Mass in the under-18s, and he misses to the near side. So it's at the 11-minute mark here of this third term. It's 3-6-24 Riddle to Romsey 14-4-88.
As Paul says, if Riddle can have some wins, that's very important, and if they can win a contested ball, get some clearances and make the most of it, good.
Well, a lot of blood rule has happened here, and that's Ryan that'll be coming off the ground. And we'll give a quick around the grounds in the AFL, and it's three-quarter time at the G. Essendon 11-11-77, Leigh Carlton 11-4-70, and Freo and Port 3-3 apiece in the second term.
Two good games going on there. That one over in the west, Fremantle at home to Port Adelaide. Good game, but interesting to see how Carlton's going against, or to hear how Carlton's going against Essendon there, Chris.
Oh, they're up by 5 goals at quarter time, let the lead slip. As meanwhile, back here at the Tony Clark Reserve, the Bombers working hard there at centre half forward. We'll see a ball up and quick around the grounds in the Bendigo Football Netball League. Strathfield saying the under-18s kept their finals dreams alive. 15-12-102 to Eagle Hawk, 12-14-86. As the ball squeezed out towards Kakamo here on centre wing. He did not have possession of the ball. He played for that well. He moved the ball on quickly. Big contest.
A good contest between the two players.
It was Mills from Romsey that marked well.
Nice for the footy.
And something's happened off the ball here. It's again big Dave Bruno. And a free kick to Lob. 40 metres out from goal. Now this is stupid.
Bruno's lost it, hasn't he?
You've just got
Bruno. He's come into the side today, and his teammates need to settle him down a bit.
He's going to come off the ground, I think. Yeah, he is.
Troy might have a plan just to get him off the field. Just give him a.
Yeah, he's off.
I'm not quite sure that would be Brad Mitchell's smartest decision to come in there and remonstrate with the big fella either.
Yeah, David versus Big Goliath in that case there.
But great courage there from Brady Mitchell.
As Lob will go bang! He sends that up. He lets the real staff know all about that after a few friendly words before. And that is blowing the margin out to 70 points. 15-4-94, 3-6-24, and we've ticked on 13 minutes gone third term. What a third quarter.
We've talked all the year about Romsey's forward line and 3 dangerous forwards. Of course, one of them is out today. That's Benny Way. But the other 2, of course, Phil Lobb and Matty Davidson. And Matty and Phil have got 8 goals between them, 4 each.
Yeah, what was sort of my sort of analysis, what I thought Riddle needed to do is to probably just try and control this quarter, and hopefully that Romsey themselves just sort of go into a bit of time-saving mode, thinking about the week after. But what they're doing at the moment, they're poking a raging bear. So, from that part, they're not going to be slowing down.
Well, the Redbacks are pushing forward again, and Streeter, that was okay from the umpire up towards lob. As the ball heads out towards the forward pocket, North sees it out of bounds. Now, again, I have to be careful with the use of words here, but I would be a bit more cautious of the other Riddle coaching staff about their mentality of they've got to try and keep their heads in the game and not get sucked in as much as what Romsey are trying to bait them as well.
I'm not really quite sure if it is the Riddle coaching staff itself, but here is a small contingent of Riddle supporters just on the left there of the coach's box as well. They're trying to, I suppose they pay their money to come in, but they're probably not acting in the right manner at the moment.
Yeah, they just happen to be around the coaching staff as well.
Brad Mitchell got a heavy knock to the head then. He's head over the ball, and Brad has got a free kick
and a 50-metre
penalty as well.
What is going on here in this third term? There is a bizarre feeling around this third term, and realistically, on paper, Romsey will go and win by 100 plus points. As Bruno, has he been yellow?
Yes, he was.
As Mitchell goes bang and it brings some excitement here on Harlan's FM. It is now Romsey 16 for 100 to 3-6-24. It is a 76-point lead in favour of the minor premiers against the reigning premiers. Wow. We are seeing a third term that is like no other.
Yeah, the whole game is starting to lose its way just slowly, but yeah, well, what Romsey's doing at the moment, they just keep playing football, don't they?
Riddle just have to refocus and get their concentration and get their heads over the ball as best they can and get possession.
Well, they look to push forward now. Crosby handballs in board. Zane Williams, 50-odd metres out from goal. It floats through for a point. Is it goal?
It's a goal.
Oh, it is through.
Good.
Oh, I saw the umpire veering off. That's great.
Yes, good to see Zane Williams out there again, and good football. That's his second for the day.
Now, I wonder how much that'll impact the report there on Burlak from the hit.
Yes, well, we just got to get our heads on the football here, our thinking on the football here. Let's leave all that to the Tribune.
That's exactly right. But I don't think with the AFL they sort of, when a hit like that's taken into, they take into account the medical forms, don't they?
Yeah, they take it in to see if there was an injury to the player. Also, where was the ball at that time of the incident as well? There's something that, being on that further part of the ground, just in front of the indoor netball stadium there.
Well, it's 70 points the margin here, 4-6-30 to 16-4, 100. 10 scoring shots to 20. We're seeing a massive lead the other way as the Redbacks pushing forward in a sea of red and black and a bit of white there as well as Mitchell lays the tackle there on Robertson. But umpire Dwayne Connell said that Robertson didn't have possession of the ball.
A couple of Romsey players in the midfield would be happy that Ethan Foreman's not playing today.
Yeah, but I've got to say, even if Foreman was in the side, he probably wouldn't have won too much of the ball because the Romsey midfielders have just been dominating across all levels.
Well, that's what I'm wondering with Foreman, that he is accountable, and I think that, players like that are very valuable. But when you've got a whole team that's running as well as Romsey, you're just looking for, okay, what can we do next time we come around to play Romsey?
Yeah. Well, Crows has just sent the ball straight through off a single step from 50 metres out from goal, and we barely caught him today, and he's kicked an absolute ripper. That's 2 goals in a row. That's fantastic to watch. That might bring the Bomber faithful a little bit to life. It's
Jeremy Crow's got the one.
Yep.
And let's see what the Riddle, where it's looking at the moment. Zane Williams has kicked 2, Pat Karras has kicked 1, Paul Selberg 1, and Jeremy Crow's 1. When we go through to the Romsey side, as mentioned earlier, Phil Lobb and Matthew Davidson have got 4 each, and then 2s to Dave. Help me, Dave
Davidson.
Kakamo.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry,
2. Ash McNaughton has 2. Brad Mitchell 2, and 1 to Cam Dawson and Wally Saab.
good work there, Dougie.
Dave Kakamo it is, isn't it?
Yep, that's right.
Good.
Handball inside the forward 50 here for Riddle. They maintain possession. Allen, he's done what perhaps instinctively he hasn't done all day and marked the ball. He's gone for the spoil on many occasions there, Braden Allen. Inside the forward 50. Players will fly. One of those was Williams. Ball hits the deck. Sard, like a slippery eel. He threw that away. Free kick to the Bombers. They kicked 3 goals in a row here. Maybe bring on a couple more.
That's excellent.
Well, that's what they need to do, don't they? Just to, as you said, just create a pulse in this game themselves, and have a win for their own side to say that they can match it from quarter to quarter, and that's all they need to do.
Well, realistically, on paper, they can still win this. It's not beyond. I mean,
realistically, yes, they can.
It's not impossible. As Crosby goes bang, the car horns go nuts, and maybe the Bombers. Well, it's 58 points now. They've kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes of play. So, look, stranger things have happened in footy. We can be optimistic in this case.
Oh, you sort of have to be as a football fan, don't you? As a Riddles Creek fan, if you are here at the ground today, you need to be optimistic and just hope your side can just find that little bit more and just keep punching.
Well, it's 6-6-42. It's Lockie Crosby kicked that one. 6-6-42 Riddle to 16-4-100. So 58 points the margin. The Bombers have kicked 4 goals to 3 for the term. They've kicked the last 3 goals. Kick up towards half forward. They're kicking to the right of your dial. Well, the Macedon here, the Bombers. Maybe, I don't know whether Riddle is starting to win a bit more of the ball, or Romsey taking their foot off, or...
Well, Riddle are winning the quarter. On the scoreboard.
Looks like to me that Romsey has taken his foot off the pedal just slightly. Their intensity around the ball, their run and spread just probably not there at the moment, but full credit to Riddle as well. They're winning that contested footy.
Oh, they've got to do it at some stage, and they're starting to get into it now. Quick around the grounds in the AFL. 8 minutes gone. Final term. Essendon 12-11-83 in a big one against Carlton. 12-4-76.
Here he is again, Brad Mitchell. Just keeps racking up possessions today.
Yep, probably one hand on the Hangarock Winery Player of the Day, Hines FM. Been a star.
Been great clashes in VFL, AFL between Carlton and Essendon. Great rivals over the years, going back many, many years. And why wouldn't Carlton love to knock Essendon off today?
Before the finals. Yeah, it's as you say, a bit of rivalry there. As the ball heads up towards half back here for Romsey. Raymond just squeezed the handball out towards Rommel. Back to Farmer. Helen got the other spoil there of the Braden variety. He goes again, young Braden. There's almost a little bit happening off the ball there. We'll see a boundary throw in, of course. Farmer.
Of course, Chris, some of us wrinklies can go back to the 40s in Carlton and Essendon and grand finals and so on. And John Coleman, of course, coming on the scene in 49. There's been a great book written about John Coleman. If you haven't got across that, listeners, make sure you check out. If you like to read books about Australian football, get across the great monograph about John Coleman.
I'm looking forward to getting my hands on a copy post-season. Get rid of the post-season blues here of footy being done and dusted. As Burlack is back on the ground after 15 minutes on the pine, and Mills here for Romsey. Right foot kick up towards Bertrand here for the Bombers. He can't quite take the mark. Here comes Streeter. He's been in electrifying form all day. North, he bubbles back to him, recovers well. He's got no one in support. Left foot kick though inside the forward 50 on the bounce. Gathered there by Raymond across back. Ross on his knees. He kicked it to Crosby in the goal square, and Ash will go back and kick the Bombers 4th in a row.
I'm really pleased. If there are Riddle supporters and members around the ground, I'm sure they'd be very pleased to at least Riddle trying to win the quarter after being so far behind at half-time.
Yeah, great word there by Kane North in the centre then too. He had a few Romsey players. He has a bit of a flyweight. He kept bouncing off, twisting and turning, and just trying to keep pushing that ball forward, willing it forward.
And Ash has just snuck in by the skin of his teeth, the captain here for the Bombers. At the 22-minute mark of the third term, Riddle are 7-6-48 to Romsey 16-4-100. The Bombers have kicked 4 goals in 6 minutes. It's a shame it didn't happen in the second term to bring the game a bit closer, but the margin got out to as much as 76 points.
Well, I do remember one game now, the Sydney Swans opponent, when Tony Lockett was playing for St Kilda. The Swans led by 50 points in a final quarter there at the SCG one day, and Tony Lockett kicked 10 goals to absolutely punish me. Man, as the Saints got up that afternoon. Maybe we're getting this here this afternoon for the Riddles Creek Bombers. Can it happen? That's the question they're going to have to be asking themselves.
Well, we love exciting games of football. Somebody Romsey said, you're on the Riddle bandwagon a little bit. And I said, I don't care. I've seen that many one-sided games of footy. All I want to see is a close game come the business end of the season. So that's what we're hoping for this afternoon. A bit of a close finish. As a bit of a hold there between McNaughton and Petrone, and umpire calls play on advantage. Inside the forward 50, Dawson marks on the slide. Dawson, as good as he is, he's probably had a bit of a quiet game today, but everyone's been jumping around him.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Probably the ball hasn't been presented for the style of footy, that he's most accustomed to. It's been, as you know, Dawson's kicked a couple of those goals, been right at his feet. So.
Oh, he's got a big chance here. Tucked up on the boundary line. He's the sort of player that can kick this. He's the sort of player that can kick this. Campbell brings it to ground and it's taken through for a rush behind. At the 24-minute mark here of this term. 53 points the margin. And that's the second rush behind there for the Redbacks this afternoon. Of course, you're listening to 100.7 Highlands FM, 88.1 FM on the ground. You've got Doug, Rixie and Yendi here on the call for this second half here on the seniors. A big booming kick there for the Bombers there from Dan Salberg. And Matt Samet there on hands and knees, dishes out to Patron. Here's a chance here for the Bombers.
What numbers?
Ed Samet, inboard to Cosby, handballs into space on the outer side. He's got Croge who slips over at the crucial stage, or is that Sylvester? Not too sure there. Ball kicked along the boundary line. Matt Samet, he watches the ball in slow motion go out of bounds in front of him, centre wing outer side.
Yeah, a bit of a wasted opportunity there. They were running in numbers in. They tried to move it by hand, but good pressure from the Rumsey defenders to shut that down.
Rumsey 16-5-101, Riddle 7-6-48.
And there are two rush behinds in that Romsey score as well. As out of bounds on the full free kick to Romsey on the outer side. Oh, we did highlight throughout the game that Romsey got they've got the ability to just put the teams to the sword. Whether they've sort of relaxed a little bit for the first time this season. Probably looking ahead at the other big one.
I'll give credit to the way Riddle have tackled the job. Although at the start of the third quarter, Romsey made a good start to the third quarter, but since then Riddle have been contesting well.
Oh, Romsey kicked 3 of the first 4 goals to blow the margin out to 76 points. As Ash McNaughton kicked a couple today, sends the ball up towards half forward to Brewer. Over his head out towards North. He's got Brewer hot on his hand. We'll see Boundary throwing 50 odd metres out from goal.
Yeah, it's a great scoreboard they got over there too. It's very clear. We were talking about last week at Summit, talking about electronic scoreboards. There's just something about a manual scoreboard, isn't there?
Yep, and big numbers too.
Great numbers.
Huge. It's best. That would end up probably the best scoreboards in the competition, I think.
Romsey, loose man everywhere here, fellas.
They can raffle it here inside the forward 50. Lob! He comes through with the spoil. The Ryan at ground level. Right foot kick up towards guess who? Matt Davidson. And Lee soccers it through for a rush behind. We've ticked on 26 minutes here in this third term. It's 54 points the margin.
Yeah, Dave, he's just so dangerous down there. When that ball's anywhere near his area, you're really expecting him to score those goals, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Wouldn't have been surprised if it was his boot that tried to get in the way of the Lees, and he would have kicked it through for a great goal. As Dan Solberg has the designated kick. There it is, Petoro! HighlandsFM.org.au will be watching the replay of that one.
Yes, get across your Red Onion, the work that they do on video. Get across rdfl.org.au.
Petrola inside the forward 50, tries to spot up Dawson, who has time to settle, spin around, go back to Streeter, inboard up to Brewer. He's got Robertson hot on his hammer. They can raffle this, the Redbacks. They can absolutely raffle it, and they won't. Ryan had a little bit too much time, and holding the ball free kick, and there's a little bit of how you're going. What are you doing after the game? Between the two sides. On a nice day for footy in the shadows in the third quarter here on Highlands FM. Kick up towards the middle of the ground. Cam Casson couldn't quite take the mark. Haven't called his top name too many times today. Petrola handball over the top to Raymond. 55 out from goal. He's looking for a target. Tried to spot up Sard. Lowry gets in the way. Did he have possession? Not too sure in that case there. Ball 15 out from goal. Here go the Redbacks, just pushing ever so closely. Let's sock it through for another rush behind. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's the shadows is sort of getting a little bit longer here this afternoon as the clouds are getting behind this wonderful facility that we're sitting here on this fantastic veranda. That's been a picturesque day. But what more can Riddles Creek do?
Well, they're going to win this quarter, that's for sure, and hopefully win the last. As the ball inside their inside of Romsey's forward 50. And we'll see the ball up as we tick on 28 minutes here in this third term. I was going to say final term. It does have that bit of final term feel about it almost with the shadows. We're just almost seeing that at this time of the day. as Ryan. He's taken down. Did he have possession? Umpire said that's okay. Patron there at ground level will see a ball up.
Yes, the Macedon Football Netball Club have got dreams and visions for improving the ground and getting a grand final for the Riddle District Football Netball League tournament.
Oh, it's one of the most enjoyable places to watch footy, and that is no understatement at all as Dan Salvo takes it out. Quick around the grounds in the AFL. Carlton 14-4-84 lead Essendon 12-12-84. So sorry, 88 to 44. And Port Adelaide 8 points up against Freo. Yeah, good game over there. 41 to 33. Meanwhile here, free kick will be go to the Bombers. Against Mitch Farmer to go to Kane North. It's 16-7-103 to 7-6-48. We've ticked on 29 minutes here in this third term Highlands FM footy. It's a 2-on-1. Carrison eating the sandwich. Here's a chance for Ant Salmon. Handball's out now. James Patron there on his back, squeezes it out to Pete Robertson. They can jag a late one here, the Bombers. And Braden Allen, he marks. He puts it up. He's looking for Ross. Just over his head. Dribble out towards the boundary line. And we'll see a throw in, 15 out from goal.
Yeah, they'll be very positive at sort of the huddle at three-quarter time. You wander out there and have a bit of a listen as they've won this quarter, and that's all the coach can ask for at half-time, and they've delivered it.
30 minutes gone here in this term, Dougie.
Yeah, good. Well, three-quarter time. Romsey 16-7-103, Riddle 7-6-48.
Tony Clark over. Oh, we've got one more quarter to go here at Tony Clark. We've got 12 to go tomorrow. It's nearly half time here at Highlands FM's coverage of the RDFNL. Hope you're enjoying the biggest, most explosive coverage of RDFNL football ever in history. No understatement there. Back with more right after this with Dougie, Rixie and Andy. And Gav.
50s, 13 to Riddle, 9 to Romsey, so they got a bit more to build up for the Bombers, which was good to see. Overall for the match, 38-29 in favour of Romsey. They've been so efficient going forward, 23 scores for 38 inside 50s. Handball receives 40-34 in favour of the Bombers, 13 apiece that quarter, and free kicks 9-8. Riddle's late that quarter for the match, 24 for the Bombers and 22 for the Redbacks.
You just hit the free stuff.
Good work there, mate. And we'll go to Rixie.
Yeah, just once again, fairly positive talk there from the Riddle huddle, and he just mentioned that he just kept reiterating, just work rate, boys. He said we may get another opportunity to sort of meet these boys, but we still have an opportunity here. But he just wants to see that solid work rate they brought to that game there, and just create opportunities for their forwards and give themselves every opportunity.
And Dean Helmers at Romsey, some lazy play, work rate not good enough, the standard was not good enough. He wants Romsey to maintain the standards they've had all the year, and he doesn't want it to drop off.
They have a ball up. Good to see the supporters here in Macedon having a great day here in the social rooms. As rucks go up again, it's the Bombers to your right, Bombers to your left and Redbacks to your right. The ball heads towards the Mount Macedon end where the Bombers are kicking. If they get the first one, you just never know. Anything could happen in this game of footy in this final term here on Highlands FM football. There's Hayden Ross working hard. He gets the kick and he bounced the wrong side of the stick. If only that had gone through, Gav, that would have brought the house down, mate.
Yeah, look, they're coming from a long way back, though, the Bombers. Completely outplayed today. It was good that they were able to resettle there in that third quarter after they lost the plot a little bit. But they've resettled, got themselves back in the contest, exactly what they were told at three-quarter time. They'll have to play again next week or the week after. They may have to play this side again. Concentrate on the small things, win the quarter, make sure your structures are right and set yourself up now for next week.
Well, they'll have a chance to push forward again now. Just enjoying a nice pie here from the Macedon Football Netball Club is fantastic. Go over there, Gavin.
We've got a 50-metre penalty for Pete Robertson, but guys, Doug, Pete Robertson's been outstanding today.
Yes,
he's the one guy that's been focused on the game the entire day.
He certainly has. And he and Zane Williams as well.
Yeah, Zane Williams has been excellent for the Bombers as well. As Robertson lines up, he'll kick from just inside 50. Big winding kick. It's going to fade towards the forward pocket. Karras, too big, too strong against Burlack. Up against the boundary line. Tough kick from here from Karras. But really good mark there. Positioned himself well, protected the drop zone, and held the grab.
Well, if he gets this one, it's back to 8 goals. And it would have handed them, I think, the last 5 goals of the game.
Karras, deliberate in his approach. A lot of fizz going out of this one. The crowd just enjoying a few ales to finish off the day. On the left foot, Karras stabs at it and just pushes it wide through from behind.
Yes, Pat's had a good year for Riddle, and interesting how he likes to use the midfield.
Yeah, he's a very good tap ruckman. He's had an excellent year, and again, he's been good today. He's really worked hard there. Probably hasn't had the impact around the ground that he would have liked, but he's been good. As Mitch Farmer kicks in, tries a torp, doesn't quite get onto it. Karras stops it, it's an half forward. Ball spills out to Brad Mitchell, who handballs off to Trav Mills. Quick kick into the middle of the ground, finds Steve Burlack. Burlack sweeps out wide. Brad Mitchell running with 1 bounce, 2 bounces. Heading towards the scoreboard, drives a left foot kick inside forward 50. Ash McNaughton going back with the flight of the ball, takes an excellent mark. Good protection there from his teammate Matt Davidson to give him that extra little bit of space he needed to take the mark. Push it back.
The run and carry of Brad Mitchell, he's a terrific player.
Yeah, he's been outstanding all day. His work rate is excellent, and he's just he's stayed in the contest and really just provides excellent drive for the Redbacks through the middle.
Game on at the MCG, deep in the time on, and it's 90 apiece between Carlton and the Mighty Bombers.
McNaughton comes in on the right boot, kicks it goal and just pushes it right for a behind. 2 goals, 1 to Ash McNaughton today. Been another one of those midfielders that's rotated forward and given a real option.
So what does it mean to Essendon if it is beaten by Carlton?
Absolutely.
Having confidence of having a win, mate.
Yes.
We'll still play North Melbourne next week.
Kick comes out towards half back and it's gone a bit wide and out in the full with James Nolan marking it. Kick inside 50 from Mitch Brewer, deep towards Davidson territory. Spoil from Riddle comes out the front, picked up well there by the Bombers. James Petrin kicks out to the half back line and a strong mark by James Nolan. Nolan will look to drive the ball short down the wing and finds Dan Salberg. Salberg goes for a bit of a trot down the wing and a right foot kick up towards half forward. Matty Zammit in the contest there with Trav Mills, but a very, very good overhead mark by Mills. Controls it, and all of the spice has gone out of this one, boys.
Yes, that's right.
Burlack drives a long left foot kick to half forward towards McNaughton, but Petrin comes across the back and takes a nice easy mark. Petrin plays on, kicks a high ball towards Croge. Not a great kick. Trigg cuts it off. Gives the hands off to Luke Ryan, who chips up towards Pretoria. Got underneath the football. Zane Williams cleans it up. Rushed his kick though. Kicks it straight up and sideways, and it goes out on the full free kick to Romsey.
Yes, no doubt a lot of players will be looking to next week or the week after.
Yeah, well, both of these sides need to play again now, so I think we'll see a pretty just a nice clean quarter of football, I would have thought. Now I don't think the result can be changed, so it's just going to be about using the ball and setting yourself up.
Streeter inside the forward line here for the Redbacks, comes off hand, dribbles out towards the boundary line. And Davidson draws some attention there from Lee, still in the field of play. Kakamo squeezes it around the body and kicks a minor score. Big news at the MCG. Carlton 14-6-90. Essendon 13-12-90. It's a draw.
A draw, Carlton and Essendon. Oh, there we are. 2 points each.
Oh well, at least Collingwood got hammered last night.
It's always a positive as the Bombers link up through half back. The checking kick into the middle of the ground comes in and finds Karras. Karras looking for an option, plays on, umpire calls him off, goes around Mills on the mark and chips short to Tim Hill. Tim Hill settles up, wants a true centre half forward. He'll look to drive the ball inside forward 50. Hayden Ross has got a little bit of space, but the kick didn't give him much hope.
Free kick for pushing the back.
Free kick to Ross.
To a bit of Bronx cheers from the crowd here.
And while they're collecting the ball, fellas, of course, it's the Bowen and Medal Ryan.
Yeah,
Medals,
big night on Wednesday night. Should be a cracking night. As Hayden Ross trots over the 50-metre line and puts it a goal, and it's a beautiful kick straight over the umpire's head for a goal. And that's Riddle's 8th goal for the day and Hayden's first.
And the guest speakers at next Wednesday, you've got Richo,
Matty
Richardson and Eloise Southby. So a big night, Wednesday night at the Convention Centre at Taylor's Lake.
Riddle District Football Netball League night of nights. It's always a cracking night, and this year promises to be no different. It's the Bowen and Ryan medal counts are always exciting and up and about, so it'll be great to see.
Who's the tip, Gav?
Oh, it's going to be a tough one this year. I think it could come from you've got a couple of standouts at each club. I mean, Romsey's got Brad Mitchell and Chris Petruccio who are going to poll well. I think Paddy Karras might go all right. Lenny Clark from Diggers will go all right. I think there's plenty of options. Who else is there? The Kangaroos have got Dylan Murphy, of course, who put on a show last week, who's got to be a big chance.
And of course, people wanting to get along to that, get in touch with your clubs and to get tickets.
Free kicks being paid. That would be a big night Wednesday night. Hopefully there's still a chance to squeeze in a few chances there, Dave. I know you're looking forward to it. You got the old suit and tie out already, mate.
Well, collar and tie, eh?
Yeah, bring it on. As the Bombers try and work their way out of trouble here in the back line after winning a free kick for a hold. Kane Murphy, very dangerous, but finds Cam Lee. The other side at 16-9, 105, 88, 56. We've ticked 8 minutes gone, final term. Spoil came there from Farmer.
And I'm sure the girls will be all dressed up, Gav, with Eloise Southby. They're interested in her experience.
Yeah, the netballers always spruce up nicely at Bowen Medal Night, and the boys are always hanging around.
Eloise Southby, of course, the great fullback of Carlton by the name of Jeff Southby.
Yeah.
And all Australian, Victorian. When they played state games and all of that.
Yep.
Yes.
Back in the glory days.
Yeah. Wonderful fullback.
We've got a boundary throw in on the outer side. Romsey 16-9, 105, Riddle 8-8-56. We've ticked on 9 minutes gone. Final term 100.7. Highlands FM football rocking the RDFNL final series as a strong mark's taken there by McNaughton. He gets the ball moving on quickly now to Streeter. 52 metres out from goal. He probably needed 53 because it went out of bounds. And just, of course, the big news I think that's going to come from this game is the report on Steve Burlack, the Romsey captain.
There's a couple of big stories as well, because we haven't seen Sean Austin since the first quarter, who has got a bit of ice on his calf over there, and Dave Kakamo limped off there before, so I'm not sure if he's back out on the ground or not. So a couple of little injury concerns. Of course, Paul Salberg looks like he might have broken his hand too over there for Riddle. So
really?
A couple of big injuries coming out of this one.
And of course they lost a couple on the death knock as well, the Bombers, with Brian Ruffle and Ethan Foreman out of action before the game. The rumour wheel was running wild, and Gav, you're right on it there, mate.
The oil was good.
Yep. You got the good mail.
And Sean Austin, that happened early in the game, and he was uncomfortable there on the massage table in that first quarter.
It was very painful. Not a bad day for injuries. As we see a ball up just metres in between before the boundary. I think from a radio perspective, these are the hard moments in footy to bring to life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's look, and both of these sides will be looking at structures for moving forward. Of course, Riddle will have to front up against the winner of tomorrow's game, and Romsey will enjoy the week off before facing the winner of the prelim. So that's what these two sides will be looking to get out of this last quarter, is set up and structures for the next couple of weeks. I mean, the Bombers just need some confidence here.
Well, we need to get something out of these last 15 minutes of plays. We've ticked on 10 minutes into this final term. Kick inside the forward 50 there for Riddle. For Crows, it just misses his head.
And what's this guy doing?
Oh, Tazari. Just give him the bottle of wine now, I think. As Farmer almost marks in the middle of the ground, knocks on very cleverly to Dawson. He almost didn't go with that with great conviction. As Mills sends it inside the forward 50. Oh, good hit there.
Great collision.
I think Dan Selberg and was that Ash McNaughton. Here's a chance. Trav Mills in the pocket. Dave-O! Or was that Sard?
It was Sard.
It was Sard.
And I thought the impact was more on the shoulder.
Yeah, as he landed.
Yes.
Oh. Well, you're almost better just calling it off now at this stage of the game. I don't think it's better for any side as Trigg. Maybe he's just coming off the ground due to exhaustion. As Streeter, he lines up, he pumps it long.
Kick.
That's a goal.
No, it's hit the post.
Oh. Wow.
Yes, you can run through this Romsey side and you can see some very consistent standout players, Gavin, can't you? And Cam Streeter is one of those.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've mentioned several times. You can go on and on.
Absolutely. Today they've had winners just on every line.
Speaking of winners, Dougie, do we have the winners of the netballers today?
Yes, we do, and I'll get you across that.
We have a 50-metre penalty after a mark from James Nolan, which will take him down towards the wing. And again, this is where Riddle just need to get something out of this.
I think the day's gone backwards since the under-18s. We saw the thrilling 4-point win to Macedon, and then to Riddle they won by 20 points in the reserves, and this one is just blown out of the water. Ball up towards half forward there for Riddle. Handball came out there. In fact, it was holding the ball, and the umpire. So the players will have their conversation there, but I think the umpire was a bit blindsided in that case there, Dwayne Connell, as Ross takes a mark there. Dougie.
Yes, in the netball at the under-18s second semi-final, Rupertswood and Riddle. Rupertswood 36, Riddle 30. In the C-grade second semi-final, Romsey 23, Rupertswood 20.
As Hayden Ross delivers and puts it through his second goal of the day.
And in this term as well. Keep going there, Dougie.
Good. In the B-grade second semi-final, Macedon 36, Rupertswood 33. And in the A-grade second semi-final, Riddle 46, Melton Central's 40.
So some great results all around there for footy fans.
And tomorrow at Rockbank in the netball, A-grade Rupertswood versus Romsey, Riddle versus Romsey in the B-grade, Macedon versus Melton in the C-grade, and the 18s and under, Macedon versus Riddle. All those games, of course, first semi-final matches at Rockbank.
So no tomorrow for the loser.
Streeter gets the ball out of the middle. Brad Mitchell gets a clearing kick out wide and might take it by Gus Story, who plays on and delivers inside forward 50 towards Lob and Davidson. Lob flew, Davidson stays down, gets a handball out to Kakamo, who goes on the left foot from the boundary line.
Oh! Now here's a fellow who's just stepped up into the park today to cover for injuries, and that's his third for the day.
Yeah, he's kicked 3-3 today, so 6 shots on goal. He's certainly done his job.
He's probably had his hand in a few others at the 14-minute mark here of the final term. It's back out to 50 points at 17-10, 112 to 9-8-62. So with Way having obviously come back into the team, who do you take out of this lineup?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's going to be a interesting selection for the old Redbacks in 2 weeks' time.
Well, perhaps will depend on what happens with Burlak as well.
Yeah,
of course, which will be a big talking point when this is done and dusted. Of course, we know Bruno was yellow carded as well, so depending on the severity of that, we could see some more repercussions to come out of that.
Look, it depends on who they play.
Yes, that's the point I was going to make.
If we get to if we look at a Riddle or a Diggers or Rupo, Burlak's going to be a massive loss.
That's probably where you might play Way a little bit back or something.
And big jukes from Phil Lobb out on the lead as the Redbacks go inside 50 again.
Yes, there's no doubt about it with selection panels these days. They take account of who they're playing, quite apart from injuries, players coming back. They just think whether they're choosing sides for the team they're playing against. And when it comes to finals, that can be a very important decision that they're making.
Well, obviously we saw a couple of selections due to injuries that has played a big part in this game for Riddle. Am I exaggerating here to say that Lobb is the best mark in this competition? He's
got clean hands, no doubt about that.
He's pretty close to it
as well.
Mighty kick, he becomes a leading goal scorer on the day. That's 5 for young Phil Lobb. And see, the crowd are going nuts over there. They're going Lobby. They're going crazy here at the Tony Clark Reserve.
I think Romsey picked him up this year from the Essendon District Footy League. Is
that's correct. Yeah, he came out from the EDFL and certainly had an impact on the competition. I think Yendy's spot on that. He's as good overhead as anyone in the competition, especially on the lead. Even contested, he's really good, and he just buries those shots on goal. He's kicked 5 straight today.
Yeah, he kicked 3 last week.
Beautiful tap out of the middle. Petroro on the run, one bounce inside 50.
That's probably one of the biggest letdowns of the day, I think, because if he drilled that
was fantastic.
Drag him.
Yep, drag him.
He's let the crowd down.
And how good has it been for Romsey today? They've dominated. Petroro has been, by his standards, pretty quiet. We know he's been carrying something. I think he didn't start on the ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he's carrying anything or not, but he's definitely been quiet by his standards, I think. A couple of electrifying little runs through the middle, but Look, Romsey have dominated that much that it's not surprising.
But do you think he's being nursed a bit?
Well, I don't know. We noticed he didn't start the game. He came on halfway through the first quarter, so I think it was a comment that you might have made there, Dougie. The ball goes up between wing and half forward for Riddle, and the
Raymond, dangerous kick.
Well, they back themselves here, Romsey, because they've just had too many numbers. Lee Irwin kicking ball to Story. He handballs over the top. Streeter, 55 out from goal, looking for a tug, and there's Kakamo, who is looking to etch his name in. He's saying to Dino, well, look, be careful with your selections, because as good as Ben Way is, he's probably not as good as me.
Well, again, he's had 6 set shots on goal today, or 6 shots on goal. He's lining up here for his 4th, and he was 15 metres in the clear inside forward 50 then.
And he started the game in number 16, the long sleeves, went the short sleeves and back in number 18 and kicks his 4th goal. That is home! And the silence was scary as the Redbacks have ballooned this margin back out to 10 goals plus. It's 19-11, 125 to Riddle 9-8-62, and we've ticked on 18 minutes gone. Final Sam Hollands FM Footy. Dougie.
Dave has made a statement today. He wants to be in that side that is selected for the grand final.
Oh, look, I don't think there's any doubt that he has to be now. His performance today has certainly shown that he's good enough to be in that side for the grand final.
Well, Lobs kicked 5, Davidson 4, and Kakamo 4. So they can all do their job. And Ben Way's still got he might even have trouble getting back to the team, although player of his talent.
Yes, they're potent forwards this year, no doubt about that.
We've just said ball up. Half time in the qualifying final in the reserves over at that QEO. Sandhurst 6-3-39, Eagle Hawk 3-4-22.
Great feed by Petroria out in the middle to Smythe. Beautiful inside 50 to a leading Cameron Dawson, who will go back and line up for his 2nd of the day.
I think that Dean's message has got through to the Romsey players. He wasn't completely happy with the way they went about the work.
Yeah, they're certainly drilling it out now. They're really turning the screws on Riddle, looking to blow them out of the water and take away all their confidence.
Well, Dawson, he kicked the opening goal inside the first 22 seconds of the game we had it.
I like the way that Dean made his points to the players. It's just very clear and concise for the message.
Goal! Dougie, that is one of the most unattractive kicks we've ever seen today.
A flat puck.
It was a floating, tumbling,
what we call a flat punt.
It was a sideways moving just float up, and it got the job done as the Redbacks really drive home this margin now. And look, let's be honest, as we sit here, Rixie's at the back of us as well, and EJ's here. The result, it's not like this margin shouldn't be how the game's finished up. Romsey have been way too good today.
Yeah, they have been, and if they got the next goal, they'd have the biggest margin of the day. But Riddle pushed forward now. Handball there from Ash, went straight to his opposite captain there in Burlack, of course, is on report. So as we said, big stories coming out of this contest. And with your captain on report, well, 1 week.
One of the beauties with Steve Burlack on that back line is he's got a penetrating long kick.
Oh, just like
coming out of defence, valuable. And for the way Romsey moved the ball, the other was coming under when he's kicked it long. He's a valuable player to Romsey.
We've ticked on 20 minutes here in this final term. Romsey 20-11, 131 to Riddle 9-8-62. It's 69 points. And we've seen 5 goals kicked for the quarter.
And I think Paul's behind us, and I think he's got a mic. He might
go for it, Rixie.
Any comments, Paul?
You're right there, guys. The sting has completely gone out of this game. But, as we suspected, Romsey, the culture of their football club at the moment, they just, when they got their foot on the throat, they just keep going for it. And that's a great culture football club. And also, with the list that they got as well, it's just, it's an awesome combination.
Yes, Romsey at the moment, 20 goals, 11, 131 to Riddle 6-8-62.
Ball inside the forward line now again for Romsey. You've been kicking to the right of your dial. Kakamo working in there on hands and knees. Or is that McNaughton? Not too sure there as the ball heads out towards Bender in front of Lob. It's right in front of the old Romsey hierarchy there, that forward pocket. And Lob's going in there, dishing out a few high fives. This is country footy at its finest. Or Metro
footy. Correct that score. Riddle 9-8-62.
69 points the margin in favour of the minor premiers. Up towards centre half, back now for Riddle. Smythe gets a handball in there for Romsey. And a big chance here inside the forward 50. And Morrison, I don't think I've called him at all today for Riddle.
He's had a quiet one as the ball's dished off to Hayden Ross through the middle. Kicks towards Nolan, who overruns the footy. Ross follows up his own work, kicks off the ground. Mitch Farmer leading the foot race back. Picks up the ball, nice little pick up one-handed. Handballs off to Lee Irwin. Irwin just measured, kicks out to Tazari, who's been outstanding out there for the Redbacks all day long.
Yes, you've called him a few times and you've made similar comments at different stages of the game about how well he's been playing.
Left foot kick to the middle of the ground. Romerall just stands tall and takes the mark, switches the play out towards Farmer, running through the middle. Farmer will wind up and drive long inside forward 50. The pack flies. All Riddle flew. All the Redbacks stayed down. Wally Sard picks it up.
It won't be a goal. The free kick's been awarded to the Bombers against, I think it might be against Matt Davidson in that contest there for a hold. So a free kick will go to Riddle on, defensive 30. So well play continued, and the Redbacks supporters were getting on their mighty horns. A 50-metre penalty has eventually been rewarded out of this one, and umpire Troy Cusack right in the perfect position.
As a Romsey supporter, why wouldn't you be enjoying the rest of the afternoon? We're all down there, we're all together down there. Yeah, it's all in good spirit too. You know, if you are supporting Romsey today, you've had a wonderful day at the footy.
They've of course been very patient, impatient perhaps, since Sunbury Kangaroos ran away with that premiership in the last 10 minutes or so of that final, 2012.
2012,
yes, I have to get the year right.
That's right. There's a
great downfield free kick here to Cam Dawson on the wing, who switches inboard. Probably didn't get it great, but it's heading straight towards Kakamo, but it's picked up by Petroro, who handballs wide out to Dermot Smythe. Smythe will run inside forward 50 and kick long towards goal to Phil. Lob, handball over the top to Davidson. Davidson shrugs the tackle, gets it, and Rob takes the mark 1 metre out, plays on. Oh, it's a free kick to Davo here for too high. So Davo's going to go back and kick his 5th. That's good, they get to share the goal.
Well, yes, I thought Phil would say, well, go with the Davo, came back, well, you know what, an old goal get it.
Well, we'll see the Lob get 6 or Davo get 5 to join Lob with 6, and with 5. But I think Davidson has kicked all his goals from 0 to 15 metres out, and when you've got Lob sort of pushing a bit forward out, and then of course you've got Kakamo who's kicking goals from 55 to 45 out, they've got all areas covered.
Yeah, look, make no mistake about it, I think Davo's still struggling with a groin injury. It has kept him back inside as deep as he has been most of the day, and look, his ability around goal is always going to make him a dangerous player. I mean, he's struggling with a groin injury, but he's going to end up with 5.
Well, from point blank range, he's kicked the goal from a set shot. There we go, the first one of the Horns go nuts, and Romsey 21-11, 137 lead, Riddle 9-8-62, and we've ticked on 25 minutes gone here in this final term. The biggest margin of the day is 76 points at the 15-minute mark of the third term, so they're not far off the mark.
I was actually going to say there that young Cameron Lee, 27, has actually done a pretty good job on Davo since he's gone back there. He's been under the pump all day with the amount of footy that's gone in there, but he's done a pretty good job on him.
Imagine what your coach sort of comes up to you and says, oh, look, you got the job on Davo today, and you're only sort of a 19, 20-year-old. It's pretty scary, isn't it?
Yeah, he's held his own, though. He's been in the contest the whole time.
A groin is a footballer's nightmare. It's just can be troublesome, so it's not easy to recover from, and it's quite a nuisance. And of course, as we know, the great Ronald Dale Barassi played the last 3 or 4 seasons of his playing career with a groin injury.
And he's still put himself at legend status. Showed his courage as Ash nurses his man under the ball here for the Bombers inside their forward 50. Here's a chance for Nolan. Handballs to Tim Hill. He put his head down.
That was on.
And they'll have a shot at goal.
What I love about Lee Irwin, he never takes a backward step. He's flat out at the footy, and if Timmy Hill wants to put his head down, that's his choice.
But good on the umpire.
When Lee Irwin's coming out, there were some very small footsteps. He's done absolutely right today, Lee Irwin. That's probably his only blemish on there. And it was only clumsy. There's certainly no malice in it at all.
No, and that's the thing with him. He's hard. One of the hardest footballers I've watched run around playing footy. But you know that everything about him is about winning the football and winning the contest.
Well, Hayden Ross, he took that mark 20 metres out from goal, took the set shot. Now Ross has kicked the Bombers only 3 goals here in the final term.
He's got cricket stumps. Yes, three of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Off stump, middle stump and leg stump, and he's there. And he's had a good game, Gavin, I think, Hayden Ross.
He certainly has. We gave him BOG last week, and he continues to show week in, week out just how good he is.
Yeah, look, he's played predominantly forward in this second half, and he's found a bit of space and been able. He's got pushed into the midfield now, but 3 goals is a good return from Hayden.
Well, it's been 8 goals apiece here in this second half, so, virtually they could have just called it then at half-time. It was 68 points of margin at half-time. It's 69 points of margin now, so credit to the Bombers. They haven't really let this game to get out of hand. As the ball is inside there, forward 50. Nolan to Croge. Handball over to space now. A shot at goal. There was that from Ant Samet. It goes across the face, of course. We're nearly half-time on 100.7 Islands FM's coverage because we're back over at Rockbank first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we may as well just start driving straight from there, head straight over to Ian Cowie and set up for tomorrow.
Yes, so the under-18.5s, Broadford play Kilmore, and the reserves, Rupertswood play Sunbury Kangaroos, and in the seniors, Rupertswood play Diggers Rest.
And of course, all those games live and exclusive on 88.1 FM at the ground and 100.7 Highlands FM. And that'll do it. That's the siren.
Final score, Romsey 21-11, 137 to Riddle 10-8, 68. Is that? Yes, 10-8, 68. So just read that again. 21-11, 137 to 10-8, 68. Romsey easy winners in the second semi-final and go straight through to the grand final.
Yeah, pretty comfortable win for the Redbacks, and look, like Rixie said before, when we sit there and look at the overall contest today, there's absolutely no questioning the class of Romsey. They were a class above the Bombers today.
Oh, absolutely, and they showed it. From right through. It was just a very small period of the game where the game completely lost its way for probably about 10 or 15 minutes. But from that point, Romsey, Riddle, they get another opportunity. But if Romsey did meet them again in the grand final.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can close that gap. I mean, Ruffle and Foreman are very important players to the Riddle lineup, but they were completely outplayed. As we saw today, Irwin and Burlack were superb down back. Even Angus Story was superb down back. You throw Ruffle into the side, well, he's going to cop Lee Irwin, or he's going to cop Steve Burlack, or he's going to cop Angus Story. It's going to be a tough matchup for him either way, whichever way it ends up. Ethan Foreman will come out on the wing. Okay, he might negate the impact that Brad Mitchell had on the game. Those two could go head-to-head and go all day. But the reality is that there's just too many other players for the Redbacks that have an impact.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I thought Romsey's defence down today was exceptional as well. Lee Irwin, as we said, he did absolutely nothing wrong all day. And as you say, his foot skills are just sublime. When he knows you're going to hit a target every time he hits up, don't you?
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's not just a defensive weapon. He's an attacking weapon as well because of his ability to use the football like he does. I know Steve Burlack can find the footy down there and he kicks at 60 metres and he's an absolute weapon. But Lee